Welcome back to Megazoid Hut. So today we're going to be looking at the ESP32 VMU Handheld Console by DynaMight. Now this is up on Instructables. It's a DIY handheld that you can make, and based on ESP32, but also running RetroGo. So yeah, nice little project. Yeah, so you got your RetroGo there with a lot of different systems, Genesis, Lynx, Doom's on there. But these are version 1s, and I want to change these over to the newer version, which is using the ESP32 S3. So this is the S3 PCB. So the bill of materials is actually not massive. It's if you discount the capacitors and resistors, actually not much on there, which is great. He's managed to get a design there which doesn't even use a serial USB to serial chip, which is I didn't even know you could do that. Well, apparently you can with the S3, which is great. So yeah, he's cut down the bill of materials here. So we got mostly resistor capacitors. That's a NPN transistor there. This one, the AP2112, is a 600 milliamp regulator, linear regulator, low dropout. Just some LEDs there, status LEDs, for charging, and the status on RetroGo. These are going to be obviously the button pads. We got a couple of buttons there, a SD card, micro SD card socket. What else we got? That's the I shouldn't be tapping it. That's the 2.5 watt mono Class D audio amplifier, the NS4168. Same one I used on the Croc Pocket actually. This one is a charging LiPo battery charger by microchip. It's the MCP73831 ESP32 S3 there. Now you could actually hand solder the whole thing. The only thing is there's a couple of heat dissipating pads here. I don't think they're totally necessary. I mean, you should obviously include them in the design. I'm not saying is wrong. I mean, they should be on there. But if you didn't have the only way to do those is with a hot plate. But if you didn't have a hot plate and you didn't solder those pads that are underneath, it's still going to function. It's not going to get that hot. I prefer hand soldering, really. It just makes it more fun, because if you just hot plate the whole thing, it's over in 5 minutes, and then where's the fun in that? Anyway, so this is the original version. Just have a quick look at that. I've taken the screws out already. This was version 1, but version 2.1 is not going to be that dissimilar, really. So this is what it looks like when you've got it together. Battery sits right on top of the ESP32. I changed the speaker. I used a Z5, I think it was, which he has listed on Instructables. I think these capacitors were all 603s, and he sort of standardized it, and it was a bit of a pain actually soldering them because the pads weren't quite right for them. But he's used 805s on this one, so it should be a lot easier to hand solder. Yeah, so I'm going to knock this one up, or I'm going to convert definitely this one and possibly this one as well. So it went together all right. I tried to get a bit more footage on the soldering, but it's hard to get under the camera. I got bad eyesight anyway, and then anyway, excuses. I did what I could. So yeah, that's gone together all right. No issues with the soldering anyway. And I did manage to get the USB port on slightly wonky. I don't know if you can see that, but that's going to bug me. Hey ho, there's not much I can do about it now. But yeah, it appears to work. So I've used the screen from the old board. That's why it looks a bit tatty. The back's actually coming off. So I've got some captain tape there. Luckily, the bottom of the screen's not viewable. But yeah, fully functional. Yeah, so you don't actually see that part of the screen anyway. Fully functional and very easy to put together, really. No major issues. And the soldering was actually a lot easier than version 1, which is, I don't think it's around anymore anyway. So just keeping a few components from that. So yeah, now to get it in the case. Alright, so here we go, finished. Still on version 1. This is the S3 version now, 2.1, and let's give it a go. So I think it actually sounds a little bit better if you get the cap on, strangely. But let's get to the mode. No, that's not it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so DynaMight's done his own theme for the VMU, his VMU, which is very nice. You got all the games there, and now you got Quake and Duke Nukem. So we'll give this a shot. It's probably going to be a little bit quiet on camera. I don't know what the controls are doing. Always bet on Duke. Yep. Yeah, I don't know the buttons. Amazing. I mean, it's. Oh, hang on. Actually, it doesn't look too bad at all. What's happening? It doesn't look too bad at all. It's definitely playable, even on this microscopic screen. Secret room. Well, it's semi-secret. Oh, hang on. He's around the corner. Anyway, yeah, great little project. Highly recommend it. So much easier than the version 1, which, you guys don't have to deal with version 1, but it was difficult to program, whereas this one, I just plugged the cable in, Windows found it. I didn't actually, it's got those 2 buttons on the back, which is boot and reset. I didn't actually have to press them at all. So yeah, very easy to program. Oh yeah, it gets annoyed if you leave, if you don't do anything. I think he says some things as well. I can't remember. It's been a while. Yeah, brilliant project, and go check it out. And thanks for watching.